Good morning, everyone. I am in my winter office, not because it's cold, but because it's very, very dark outside. It's still super, super early in the morning, and I wanted to get this video done so I could finish getting my grocery list ready to go grocery shopping today, which I will be doing an in-store shop. So next video, in-store shop at Kroger, and we're going to see how much we can save. All right. I just want to play a little game of what if. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the true right now. Our criminal king is a narcissist. He is a criminal. He is who he is, and he's going after media, news media, newspapers, press. He's going after people who tell the truth about him or make fun of him with truth and fact, and he's pulling the FCC licenses. This is the beginning of an authoritarian regime, okay? When you subdue the press and all you hear is the propaganda and lies, or just the building up of a really bad administration, a corrupt administration, so on and so forth, that's what we're going through. Free speech. I mean, come on. So our criminal king has done some really salacious things to our country already, and to our citizens, and to our immigrants. So I kind of want to turn the tables a little bit and say, what if? Okay? What if Biden would have went through the prison system and said, okay, anybody that was imprisoned for beating a cop should be released, pardoned. What if Biden had done that? Well, Trump did. January 6th was a very violent event. It was an insurrection, and it was treasonous to our country, as well as violent towards our police officers. So, what if Biden would have done that? What if Biden would have gone after Fox News for all of the lies and defamatory and propagandist statements that they made every single day and continue to do so? What if he would have pulled their license? What if he would have went through and sued independent news outlets like Rogan, Fuentes, the Tim Dude, I don't know, some of the other right-wing propagandists, liars, and so on and so forth? What if he would have went after those people for that? And he would have had a right, because defamation is not free speech. Defamatory statements are not free speech. What if he would have went after congressmen, okay, who lied in Congress meetings when they were trying to impeach him for nothing? What if he would have went after them? What if he would have threatened them? Just asking. What if he would have put in place that you had to get rid of your gas stove and you had to buy an electric car, which we heard that he said this stuff, but it was not true? What if he had refused to send help to red states in disaster times because they didn't vote for him? What would have happened? Oh, the outrage. Hell, there was outrage when he did send help, when he did communicate with the governors who didn't quite communicate the truth to the residents, who were saying that the FEMA wasn't coming, that the help wasn't there. I mean, what would have happened? Oh my goodness. I mean, think about it. What if? What if Biden would have taken away Medicaid? What if Biden would have taken away the SNAP program, Meals on Wheels, um, lunch lunch programs from the kids? What if Biden would have caused starvation during a famine in another country and taken away the subsidies for our farmers who grew and were paid to grow the food and make their farms able to continue? What if he would have stopped that? It would have been different, wouldn't it? I know it would have. I know it would have. I know. What if he would have sent ICE to companies that we require and had immigrants taken out without due process? I think there would have been a little more outrage. What if Biden would not have allowed people to protest not wearing masks or not getting vaccines? What if he would have went against those protesters and sent the National Guard out to stop them from protesting? What if he would have sent the National Guard to red states because they didn't vote for him and stopped the protests that were going on then? What would have happened? What would have happened? What would happen if Biden had been in the Epstein case files and he said, you know what? We're just going to forget it ever happened. Garland, don't worry about it. FBI, don't worry about it. We're just going to shut it down. What would have happened? You know, our criminal king ran on releasing the Epstein files. He ran on that. He was going to release it. Hegseth and Bongionio, they were podcasters and they wanted it released. And now Kash Patel is lying about who's on the list or in the files because Trump is in it. He's lying about a picture and a doodle and a signature that matches his signature on a birthday memo to Epstein. Why is he suing a newspaper for printing the truth? I'm not, a signature expert, but I can tell you the pubic hair on that photo or doodle, that's his. They know it is. The man was his best friend for 15 years. What if the photos of Biden with naked little girls sitting around him laughing at a stain on his pants were hidden? And someone who saw it reported it, but the FBI is not letting it out because, what would have happened? What would have happened if comedians who talked about Biden being old and eating ice cream cones and falling up the steps into Air Force One, what if he would have sued them for defamation? I mean, really? What if he went after Jake Tapper for writing a book about him? You know? I think MAGA needs to do some thinking. They need to do some explaining. They need to understand where we are. And I do not agree with living under an authoritarian regime, a criminal mafia style regime. What if Biden had been that way? And a lot of you claim that Biden was, and in fact, that is just absolutely bonkers. Yeah, he was old, but he was a good man. And he cared about all of us, whether we were on the right, whether we were on the left, whether we were in the middle, whether we were immigrants. He cared about us. And he did deport criminals. What if Biden had had 34 felony charges against him and we voted him in? What if Biden had been found guilty of sexual assault slash rape? I mean, y'all tried to say that he was diddling little kids when he was just sniffing their heads. You know what? I sniff little babies' heads too. I don't know. That could just be the maternal thing in me. I don't know. Like puppy breath. You know. What if Biden would have actually been like what we have now, a criminal king that is an authoritarian and making our lives hell, taking away what we need to build a ballroom, to build a club, to fly golfing every weekend? What in the world would MAGA do? They would lose their ever loving mind. They were losing their mind over the lies and propaganda Fox News, Newsmax, and all the other independent people were saying, which were lies. What would MAGA do? All right, I've got to go. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. Next video will be an in-store shop at Kroger. I want to say subscribe, like, share. Let's get this community going. And I'll see you around. I love you all. Hugs from a distance. Bye.